Welcome to today's session. In this session, we are going to look at China's Arctic policy. So let's get started. Now, let's understand what is China doing in the Arctic region. China released its official Arctic policy white paper in January 2018, just 1 year ago. It has officially released its Arctic policy. Alright, this document, that is the official Arctic policy document, reiterated China's ambition for Polar Silk Road. See, we'll understand this Polar Silk Road and Belt and Road initiative at length after a little while. So before that, let's understand other things. See, China is not directly present in the Arctic region. Alright, it is not an Arctic state. It is a near Arctic state. See, it is a near Arctic state. But still, it is showing a lot of interest in Arctic area. We'll understand why. See, if you can see these countries in blue, dark blue, okay, these are Arctic nations. And there is a council known as the Arctic Council, which consists of these countries: Canada, Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway, Russia, Sweden and United States. These are part of the Arctic Council. Why? Because they are Arctic countries. They are around the Arctic Circle and they comprise of a council known as the Arctic Council. But China is not directly present in the Arctic area. It's still there near the Arctic. So it is known as a near Arctic state. Alright, and with respect to this Arctic Council, China is an observer state. It is just an observer state. It is not a member state. That means it doesn't have complete membership of the Arctic Council. And in order to gain friends in the Arctic Council, China has been doing a lot. By this, what I mean is, China has mended its relationship with Norway, Russia, Iceland and other countries also. For example, Norwegian government gives away the Nobel Prize. Right? So there was a Chinese person who was not on good terms with the Chinese government, and that person had been awarded the Nobel Prize and China did not like it. So it had cut its ties with Norway back then. But after it wanted to get into the Arctic Council and get an influential position there, what it did was it opened its embassy in Norway. Okay, you getting what I'm saying, right? It tried to mend its relationship with Arctic states. This is just one example. There are other examples like the Yamal LNG project with Russia and other nations like Iceland. Alright. See, now we know that the Chinese are interested in the Arctic, right? But now let us look at the specific aspects of Chinese Arctic policy. There are 4 main things in the Arctic policy. The agenda of the Arctic policy has 4 important points. The first one is the Polar Silk Road. Second aspect is mineral and energy resources. Third, fisheries, and fourth is tourism. Now let us look at each of them in detail. So let us look at the first point on the Chinese agenda, that is the Polar Silk Road. See, the Chinese are aggressively pushing certain initiatives like the Belt and Road Initiative, String of Pearls, Polar Silk Road, Maritime Silk Road, certain things like that. So why is the Chinese behind these projects? These are all infrastructure projects which are going to enhance connectivity. So why does China need connectivity? China is a manufacturing economy. It has to sell its goods. For the Chinese products to reach markets, it needs newer ways. See, why does it need newer ways? Because in the already existing markets in say Asia or America, there is lot of trade. China already has an upper hand. But now China wants to expand into newer markets like the Europe and Africa. For this sake, China needs new routes. That's why China is working on such infrastructure projects. It needs access to newer markets to sell its goods. But what happens to the existing routes? There are existing routes, right? Like the Suez Canal or the Malacca Straits. But these routes, there is a problem with these routes. They take a lot of time and a lot of money has to be spent. But now Chinese have found a new way. For example, the Chinese want to construct these routes, shipping routes like the Northeast Passage, Northwest Passage and the Central Passage. If you look at this diagram, if you have to transport a good through the Suez Canal, it is going to take you 48 days. But if the same good is transported via Northeast Passage, it is going to get completed within 35 days. See, there is cutting down on time. So when automatically, right, they'll be cutting down on money as well. So China wants to save time and money like this. And the Arctic shipping routes are likely to become important, like I said, for international trade. And this is a result, this is a very sad fact, but this is a true fact that all this is happening because of global warming. See, these passages could have been there since very long, right? but these are not in use. The Northeast Passage, Northwest and the Central Passages are not in use. Why? Because earlier they were covered with ice, but now because of global warming, all these new routes are opening up in the Arctic. So this is a sad but true fact, and China is encouraging its enterprises to participate in infrastructure construction for these routes and conduct commercial trial voyages. Alright. Now let us look at the second point on the Chinese agenda, that is mineral and energy resources. The Arctic is said to possess 30% of the world's undiscovered natural gas and 13% of its undiscovered oil reserves. So China is aiming to participate in exploration and exploitation of oil, gas, minerals and non-living resources. Naturally, China is a developing economy, so it will have lot of energy needs. So in order to satisfy those needs, China is looking at newer energy resources, and Arctic region boasts of abundance in geothermal, wind and other clean energy resources. Naturally, because we are looking at sustainable options like China is doing, China will work with Arctic states to strengthen clean energy cooperation. The third point on the agenda, that is fisheries. See, in order to ensure the food security of such a large population, China wants to utilize the fisheries and other living resources of the Arctic, and it also wants to participate in the conservation because the Arctic has the potential to become a new fishing ground in the future. And in recent years, Chinese fishermen have been sailing farther and farther abroad in search of fertile fishing grounds, but unfortunately they are taking part in illegal fishing. So China wants to act on this. The fourth point on agenda, that is tourism. China believes that Arctic has a potential for tourism, and it says that Arctic tourism is an emerging industry. China wants to support and encourage enterprises to cooperate with the Arctic states to develop tourism and also conduct training for and regulates Chinese tourism agencies and professionals involved in the Arctic tourism. Now let us look at India's take. India has no direct interest except the fact that it wants to start a similar research program to that of Antarctica, except that there is no direct interest involved as such. India's nearest resource interest lies in Sakhalin Islands that belongs to Russia, but it is currently caught in a lawsuit. The main concern for India is Russia and China coming together. That might be a problem which has to be handled. That is major concern which India has. Coming to the conclusion, see, BRI or the Belt and Road Initiative was started to solve China's internal problems, internal economic problems. But this can lead to problems for other countries. So India needs to ally with the rest of the world to make sure that the China's quest for solutions to its own problems doesn't lead to the disaster for the rest of the world. For example, the Polar Silk Road can be an ecologically problematic situation for the rest of the world, right, including China. It is an it can lead to ecological disasters. But India has to ally with other countries and discuss and deliberate with other countries and see to it that it doesn't become an ecological problem. So with this, we have come to the end of today's session. Here we have mentioned a few model questions. Please answer them. See you in the next session. Thank you.